Flirt FM, Galway's alternative radio station.
You're listening to the Galway Gamer here on Flirt FM 101.3. My name is Eoghan Murphy and I am the Galway Gamer. And joining me on the line is a legendary voice actor who you may know from TV, you may know from movies, you may know from video games. When it comes to TV, she's been in the likes of Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Hero, The Wasp. We've seen her in the Powerpuff Girls and Digimon. In video games, then she's been in Final Fantasy 13, Psychonauts, Tales of Symphonia. But chances are you'll know her as Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. Her name is Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and she is joining me on the line today from the United States. Colleen, thank you very, very much for taking the time to come on the Galway Gamer today.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. It's an absolute pleasure to have you, and I know you are quite busy at the moment because, well, the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie is just around the corner. I'd imagine you're even more excited about this than I am.
Oh my goodness. I am over the moon excited. I cannot wait. I haven't seen it yet, so I just can't wait. I'm so excited. Excellent, and the new trailer that came out today is amazing. I know you said you haven't seen it yet, but oh my goodness, it looks so good. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Well, we'll get to the movie in just a moment. Let's talk about Tails as a character first, if we can. Before you began voicing Tails, he'd had a couple of voices in the past. How do you manage to bring kind of your own flair, your own style to an established character like that?
You know, that it can be tricky, but, it's such a collaborative effort. And so I had my take on it, and with the help of directors and writers and the whole team, you come up with, you end up with where he ends up. So I would imagine, though, if you listen to, like, say, the first episode of Sonic Boom and the last one, then he may have evolved into something a little bit different by the end. But it is definitely a collaborative effort. Like I come in with my thoughts and my ideas and my take, and then we go from there.
And were you a fan of him before you got the gig? Were you, did you know the voices behind Tails before this?
It's funny. I was at the callback for this, and Kate Higgins, who was playing Tails just before me, who I know, and we've worked together on lots of projects. We were just chatting, and she was there for a callback for something else for the show, and I was there for both Sticks and Tails. And then that's when I found out that she had been voicing Tails, and I was like, oh my goodness. I am never one to want to, certainly take somebody's part for whatever reason that, whatever, if it's negotiating something, I don't know. But I'm not that girl. So I was like, well, if you don't want me to audition, I will not audition. She said, no. It's already been, we've been having these talks for a while. So she basically gave me her blessing to go in and audition. So I was like, are you sure? And she said, yes. And so I went in and yay, I booked it. And so, I hadn't known who else.
You were the successor for Tails then.
Yeah, I know. And then it just went from there. Oh my goodness. It's just been such a whirlwind. Oh my gosh.
That's amazing. And for anybody who doesn't know, for anyone who's listening, you have been Tails now for about 12 years. Now, chances are you've seen a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog fans kind of grow and bloom over the years. I've always believed that Tails is a bit of a star of the show. I think that kids, especially little kids, absolutely love him. He's a scientist. He's a helicopter. He's absolutely adorable. And when they become fans, they seem to really latch on to Tails almost before they do anyone else in Sonic the Hedgehog. Do they stick with this character for life then, or do they sway towards the other characters as they get older?
That's a great question, but I feel like I think people stick with him. I mean, when I've been to conventions and things and met people are like, I always play Tails. My brother's Sonic and I always play Tails or whatever. And when you decide that he's your guy, he stays your guy, it seems like. And the Sonic fans in general, not just for Tails, but for the entire franchise they're the best fans. They love this franchise, and they know everything about it. I've learned more about this show and the games from the fans than actually working on the shows and the games. Seriously.
That's amazing. There's definitely a real passion behind Sonic fans for sure. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the movies then, because not only have you voiced Tails in the Sonic Boom TV show and just a rake of Sonic games over the years, you also got to voice him at the end of the first movie, and you will be doing so in the sequel as it gets released next month. I guess the big question is, what was it like when you were asked to play him on the big screen?
When they approached me for the first movie, I was so excited. They called and they said to my agent, like, it was sort of a very casual, she wouldn't want to do this thing, would she? I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, no, super busy. No, of course I would want to do that. That's a crazy question. So them going in, I didn't know it was going to be the trailer scene. They had kind of called it a cameo and to my agent, so I had no idea. And then I went in and Jeff Fowler was there and we worked together in person and, worked on this little scene. And then at the end of the session, when I was like signing my paperwork, she's like, isn't this cool? It's the trailer scene. I was like, what? I mean, the credit scene. I went, oh my God, I had no idea. I was excited to begin with. And then I was like, wow, that's so awesome. But honestly, I did not think in a million years that they would use me for the second movie, because knowing that potentially the next one he would have a much more significant role and would be a bigger thing. This is Hollywood. They don't let voice actors keep their parts. They replace them with celebrities. That's just how the cookie crumbles. And it's just so thrilling and exciting. And it's a huge, 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 huge win for me personally, but for the voiceover community as a whole, I feel like this is just a ginormous win for everybody. That they listened to the fans, that they heard that that's what they like, that they, kept the through line for this character and let him stay him. It's just amazing.
That's fantastic. I'll be honest, you should have heard the eruption from the crowd in the cinema when Tails came on screen at the end of the first movie here in Galway City, man. It was amazing.
People sent me videos from their movie theaters exploding. And seriously, I was excited, but until people started sending me those things, I was like, wow. People really absolutely love Tails to pieces, and to have them send them to me, and I'm not kidding, from the time that they came out up until they announced me, every single day, somebody on Twitter or Instagram or something, I could post pictures about my dogs and they'd be like, are you going to be in the second movie? Are you going to be in the second movie? Every single day. I didn't know for forever.
So you weren't in the loop from the end of the first movie then? You were?
No. They were well into filming before they made their final decision that I was going to get to do it. So they were almost finished filming the on-camera stuff.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that voice actors, unfortunately, do have a tendency to be somewhat replaced. And when we look at the upcoming Super Mario Brothers movie, for example, and Charles Martinet, who played Super Mario for the last, 20 plus years. Yeah, since like Mario 64 or before that. He's not playing Super Mario in the movie, unfortunately. Chris Pratt is instead. And do you think you getting this role as Tails on the big screen, will this open the floodgates for more video game voice actors to portray their characters on screen?
I hope so. I really do. I really hope so, because, it's that continuity. Fans like what they like, and they like these games for a reason. And the voice actors have brought these characters to life for so many people. And then to change it just because it's a movie, it's jarring and it's disappointing, I think, for a lot of fans. And I truly hope that it is a stepping stone for the next, for years to come, that they don't start replacing voice actors. It's just, I mean, it's been the thing for forever. So I'm hoping that this is, opening a door to a whole new world is my hope.
I hope so. I hope it absolutely gets the ball rolling. I really do. We, as gamers, become hugely attached to the characters through their voices. So, it definitely feels like something gets taken away then if those voices aren't there, So, I genuinely hope this does, start things moving for a next generation of voice actors like that. But let's talk about, let's talk about the difference then between recording for video games and recording for movies. How does it, I guess the question is, what's the difference really between recording for something interactive and recording for a huge piece like a big budget movie like Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
So, the biggest difference is that when you're recording for a game, you basically just get your lines. If there's, if there's some dialogue, they may give you the scene, but not a lot of Sonic games don't have dialogue per se. Not a lot of conversations going on. It's such an action, packed, like, let's go, we're racing, mostly call outs kind of thing. So your script is very different. You're going to get just this big section of like all this pages and pages of just Tails lines, as opposed to this is a whole scene and this is what's happening over here. And, so you depend a lot. I mean, all the time you depend on your director, but you for sure in video games, because you're not looking at anything, you don't know. I don't know what the game is going to look like when it's finished. I don't know what they have. Yeah, I don't know what they have in mind. So I have words on a page and then the director has to paint me a picture and then we have to go from there. And then it's all up to my imagination as to where it goes. And you're always by yourself for games. You're, alone. Now with COVID, we've been alone for 2 years now. As we speak, I am in my closet, recording on this awesome equipment that I had to scramble to get, to continue to work over the pandemic. So for the movie, I was still in my closet, but we have these things, these wonderful Zoom and Skype and all these different tools that we can use. So, I did get to work with Ben Schwartz a couple of times for the movie, which was fantastic. And for me, and as an actor, it's to be able to work with your fellow actors and work off of each other. And he's such a great improver and I have an improv background as well. So we were able to really, work off of each other, which was fantastic. And so when you have a situation when you get to actually work with your fellow actors, like we did in Sonic Boom, we had group reads, a group record where we were all there together. It was like we're, almost like doing a play or whatever. You're in the room together, you're reacting off of your fellow actors. And that's just such a wonderful experience because it just amplifies that acting and where you can go with the character, because you're like, oh, this is how Sonic said that line. So reacting immediately to what he said, I'm going to, maybe the line is said a little bit differently because of how another actor says their line,
Yeah, I totally get that. That makes a lot of sense. Did you get to work with all of the actors then, or was it just Ben Schwartz who plays Sonic the Hedgehog? Were you rubbing shoulders with the likes of Idris Elba and Jim Carrey along the way?
No, I got to have 2 sessions with Ben, and that was it. And then the rest of the time I was by myself. But I did have I had a full script with dialogue and scene descriptions and that kind of stuff. And Jeff Fowler was a fantastic director and helped me along. And, there's like a whole team of people on the Zoom that are, giving their opinions. And also some of it was finished, so I could see some of it as I was doing it up on the screen. I did get to go into the studio a couple of times. I get to go onto the Paramount lot, which is always amazing. So that was super fun. And to see, and when you're working on those ADR stages, the screen is ginormous. It's like the whole wall. So to see Tails up there, it was so cool. But it was just me because everybody was still on Zoom because of the pandemic. But still a thrill to get to go on the lot.
I'd imagine, yeah. It sounds utterly fantastic. Now,
yeah.
I know you mentioned that, as you said, it was, say, just you in certain scenes. I know you said that you haven't seen the film yourself as of yet, but we have seen, through trailers and the likes, we have seen the likes of the Chaos Emeralds. We've seen the likes of Eggman's Death Egg robot, for example. We've seen a lot of things that play very closely to the game, where the original movie seemed to be separating itself and doing its own thing. Is it closer to the movie? Do the humans still play a big part here?
Honestly, I know the humans are in the movie. I haven't seen it. And the parts of the script that I was given were only the parts that I was in. And so I can't really say. I just know it's going to be epic and it's going to be amazing. And the trailer that dropped today gave you more clips of the humans. And I mean, it's a really fantastic trailer. It's just, I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself. It looks awesome.
Amazing. And I know the third movie has already been greenlit. They are already working on a Knuckles TV show that's been confirmed. Is Sonic going to be the next big Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I think so. I hope so. We joked on Instagram and stuff. Ben Schwartz said that first, and I copied it. I'm like, yes, Sonic movie universe, that'd be amazing. And, I found out about that when you all found out about that. So I'm excited to see what it's going to be. I know it's in development, so I don't know what, I haven't been given a script. I don't know how far along even in the process they are, and I'm very intrigued about the show to know what that's going to be like. They haven't told me anything. I'm just thrilled that things are in the works.
I'm totally with you on that. I can't wait to see more. I'm so hyped for the new movie. I genuinely am. I'm so hyped up about it. It seems like Sonic the Hedgehog had just taken over my life over the last couple of weeks.
Mine too.
Who'd have thunk it?
100%.
Let's get back to Tails then, as a character now. As we mentioned earlier on, he's a scientist, he's a genius. He's always come across, even from his debut in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, back on Mega Drive or Genesis, that you guys wouldn't know it, way back in the 1990s.
Million years ago.
He always came across as more than just a sidekick. He had a lot of heart. There was something about the character. But I was just thinking, can you put your finger on what it is that makes Tails so special?
There's so many things. I mean, yeah, he's so smart and such a genius, but he is genuine, and he is the best friend anyone could have. He's so loyal and supportive, and he's the one that would walk into a burning building for you. He's the guy that's going to be your backup always. He's the best friend anyone could ever have.
Colleen, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Galway Gamer here today. It has been an absolute thrill to chat with you. If anybody wants to keep in touch with you and kind of feel that hype as the movie comes out, where can they do so?
You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at VO Colleen. You can find me on Instagram at Colleen O'Shaughnessy. Yeah, those are my I do have Facebook, but I'm not on it often. And I just joined Cameo. So that's fun. That's new.
Excellent. I cannot wait to see you on the big screen, Colleen. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great talking with you.
101.3 Flirt FM.